I've heard a lot of other channels, if you will, suggest to sit and write. And I was doing an exercise for a while where she said, just fall into your heart space and take a couple deep breaths. And
that's good. Do that.
And
but
ask.
the thing about that is that you get in your own head and then you get in your own way. And if you do that before you're really ready to receive, then you keep yourself from really getting into the alignment. And that answer to that question that you ask is what we mean about trying too hard, trying to make it happen.
Okay.
When you're in alignment, you will be uplifted to a thought, and it will be a thought like you've never had before. And you will know. Jerry knew when Esther was receiving because Jerry knew Esther. She was just a mess-off girl. She wasn't serious about anything. She wasn't a deep thinker. She was a light thinker. She was not even that frequent of a thinker. They would drive, and Esther was quiet, and Jerry would tell her all the stories of all the places he'd been, which seemed to Esther were everywhere. She loved listening to his stories, and she would just listen and listen and listen and listen. And then after miles and miles of her not saying anything, he'd say, "What are you thinking about?" She'd say, "There's a cow." And we're not making fun of Esther. Esther had this unique... it's not an ability. It was a state of being in the now and just enjoying the pleasure of it. And that comes from not having a lot of controversy in her early life. It comes from not having strong habits of pushing against. In other words, Esther fights for that today. Television makes that much more of a struggle for Esther today than it did when she was first meeting us. Because now she sees so many things that so many people disagree with that are going on in the world. And it's not easy to focus yourself into a place of allowance. Some things have helped Esther. Like just recently we said, rather than trying to figure the right and wrong out in everything, just ask yourself, what's the path of least resistance? Forming your opinion, form an intention. Your opinion often has you pushing against something. Your intention often has you advocating for something. And so over the years, we've given Esther a whole lot of tricks to keep her steady in a world of diversity. But you got to come to this place where you don't just acknowledge that there's adversity around you and not really even just accept that there is and that there always will be, but embrace it as a good thing. Embrace differences while you do your very best to find your resonance with your true power and your true knowing. Yeah.
I had one other curiosity kind of related to the whole channeling, receiving thing.
Now let's not make it sound like that. I had one other curiosity question relative to my fulfilling my reason for being, my tuning into the energy that is really me, my being in this physical body while being predominantly connected to that source energy, me being in concert with my inner being who stands in complete alignment with source energy, one who is more powerful than millions. Let's just not brush it off like that channeling thing.
You're so good at that.
Let's call it what it is. This is alignment, which is the only true living that happens. If you are in your body and not in sync with your inner being, you're not living your life. You're pinched off from it. That's why you're mad and ornery or fearful or blaming. Esther didn't like the word channeling either because it means so many things that have not been her experience. And of course, she allows and wants everybody to have whatever experience that they're having. But let's not make light of what it means to deliberately calibrate to the source energy that is you, and therefore receive the benefit of being a part of that point of attraction.
Okay.
Yeah.